Their perspective, though, is that any kind of incentive for them? Do they ever give off that kind of?
So what have we proven? That's what I tell them all the time. I'm telling you what I tell them. What have we proven? That we can win 17 games? That we can be 6-4 after 10 games in conference play? I don't know. I'm not trying to disrespect your question with my answer. We're right in the middle of the thing. You don't prove anything till the season's over. That's when you can sit back and reflect. You can't reflect when you're in the middle of the grind. I don't think so. Some people might. I don't think so. And that's my job with the players. When they start getting comfortable, well, we've won 6 in a row. Who cares? You think our 6-game winning streak is going to affect the way Kansas plays on Saturday? It's going to have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And if we go into that game thinking that because we won 6 in a row, it's going to have any difference on how that game's played Saturday, then we're fooling ourselves.
Do you worry about those guys getting comfortable?
Did we look comfortable today?
In some stretches.
At the end of the game, we were up 28. And that's, like I said, inexperience showed its ugly head today. But we came out and we played. We had to do something right to build the game up to 28 points. That's my job. That's what I get paid money to do around here, is to keep those young kids growing, keep them humble, keep them understanding what they're supposed to do. That's ultimately, at the end of the day, if I can't do that, then I'm not doing my job.
Frank, how do you balance confidence and humility at the same time? Because at one point you want your team to be humble, you want them to be confident. They seem to be playing with a great deal of confidence right now. Is it tough to balance those two things?
Well, I think the most important thing is, like everything else in life, is communication. You better make sure you communicate properly with your players. Make sure that you share your experiences so they understand. And then the other way, come watch us practice. That's where we kind of keep our edge on. And if somebody's not keeping their edge on in practice, they stick out like a sore thumb, because our kids compete and they battle. And I'll remind them every day, kind of getting back to the whole deal. When we were 0-4, were we a bad team? Now that we've won a couple games in a row, does that make us a great team? You got to make sure you understand that balance, that you can't get full of yourself when you have success, and you can't get down on yourself when the score doesn't go the way you want it to go. It's a constant education of the players in the team.
Darren Confountain has 18. He's a senior, yet it still looks like he's getting more comfortable and still growing. Under your thoughts on him?
It's a new role. New role. I told everyone earlier this year, he's accepted a new responsibility. He's no longer the 6-minute-a-game guy that comes out and makes a 3 every once in a while, and everyone says, oh, what a great job he did. Now it's kind of on his shoulders how we do. Whether we play right or not, it's on his shoulders. And he was growing as a player. The Nebraska game, that second half of the KU game, I wanted to make sure he understood some things. Then we went into the Nebraska game, and sometimes people overcomplicate situations sometimes. Darren was in a situation where he had put so much pressure on himself that he wasn't playing well. So he needed to sit down for a second and kind of see the game in a different perspective, so he can see how important he is to our basketball team. And he saw that. And ever since that Nebraska game, which he had a double-double in, played with tremendous energy and enthusiasm, he's continued to play better, better, and better. Now when you see him, he's defensively, he's really, really playing well. And then offensively, he's playing like a guy that's got a lot of confidence. And that's a credit to him. It's a credit to him that as he accepted that new role, that new responsibility, he didn't run away from it. Even when he had his moments where he didn't play well, didn't run away from it. And I think 3 weeks ago or so, for maybe a month, the season starts going, I get wrapped up. I don't even know what month we're in sometimes, but him and Denny really started taking control of this basketball team. And they're our 2 most experienced players, and that's the way it should be.
Frank, is this winning streak a product of this team's growth, or is it just them playing the way you knew they were capable of the entire time?
Combination of both. We played real hard against Oklahoma. You guys are more than welcome to go watch our tape against Oklahoma. We didn't make any shots. And then we kind of got discouraged and let them score like 8 or 9 consecutive points there midway through the second half. and they kind of got away from us a little bit, and then we couldn't catch up. But we played real hard against them. We held them to 40% shooting, 61 points. Play number 2 team in the country. I think that's pretty darn good. We out-rebounded them. I think that's pretty good. We didn't make shots. And then what happened with our youth is we got discouraged because we thought we played hard and well, and yet we couldn't win. That's what happens with young kids sometimes. You know, we kind of hung our heads for a second there. We practiced real hard. They've been great in practice. For a team this young, we practice extremely well. And but I think the games would start, and we kind of questioned whether we were good enough. And that's where now that we're back to playing with that edge, with that kind of fire that we need to play with, and we've grown as a basketball team, we're having better balance.